Hello there, Franchise Envy, the new series as part of the Ion Franchising podcast, where I speak to happy, successful franchise owners.
Up next,
And I was like,
GYMGUYZ, is that Hamburger University?
Yeah. The most powerful thing that I've ever experienced in my life. Ask her. I didn't know that I had the capacity to love people the way that I love our clients.
You need a shirt. Out of my way, I'm building an empire.
I absolutely love it.
I have an amazing power couple today. The brand is GYMGUYZ. Welcome to the show, Lauren and Allen Brewington. Welcome, guys.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us, Lance.
So awesome to have you guys. All right, let's dive into it. You know what we're doing here. How long have you guys been franchisees of GYMGUYZ?
We are a whopping 4 months deep.
Damn, just 4 months. And I knew that. You know, when I was pitched the idea of the Worthingtons coming on, they said, these people are amazing. You have to showcase what they've been able to do in a short period of time. And I think you guys know most people looking at franchises are pretty freaked out on what happens in the first 6 months after they join the franchise. What happens in the next 6 months? When do I start making money and all that stuff? So I think it's great you're here. So
Thank you.
Welcome. Is this your first business?
Yes. Like
Wonderful. And
very
what
first.
were you, what was that? I'm sorry.
Very first.
The very first. What were you doing, both of you, prior to joining GYMGUYZ? Like, what was that conversation that we need to do something different than we're currently doing?
Oh boy, there was no conversation. We need to be doing something that we're not doing. I was reached out to by a franchise coach disguised as a recruiter.
Ah,
Yeah.
tricky.
Oh yeah, he's good at what he does.
And were you unhappy with your job? Obviously, you were unhappy. You were looking for a new job.
Yep, you got it. It's pretty self-explanatory. So I was looking for new opportunity, really wanted what was next in my career, and when he about like meeting 2 or 3, I'm like, "Hey man, are you wanting me to buy a business?" And he's like, "Well," and I'm like, "No, go pound sand. No, I can't. I can't buy a business. I can't afford a business." Well, we see how that worked out. So,
I love it. And Lauren, how about you? At what point did you guys share notes and you're like, hey, wait, what are you doing?
Well, this one is the dreamer and the doer, and he makes shit happen. And it was one of those, hey, honey, what about this idea? Automatic, no. But the more that we talked about it, the more it sounded appealing. The more that we were diving into what was next for us, our family, what made us passionate in what we do day to day, it kind of was like, okay, let's consider it, and then the rest was history.
let's consider it.
Let's consider it. But we all know how the wife is so influential in this process. Usually guilt, right?
Oh, just a little.
So what were both of you doing exactly prior to jumping into GYMGUYZ? And are you still doing that now?
We are both still in our corporate white-collar America jobs, working our full-time, as well as doing full-time GYMGUYZ. So the plan is to get out as quickly as possible. So that's even more of a
push.
incentive for us to do even better. So then we can make GYMGUYZ our full-time, full everything.
Yeah. Well, you know, your names have been changed to protect you from your current job, to make sure that they can't, you know, hear this. No, I'm joking. Okay. So moving on, why did you pick this particular franchise, GYMGUYZ?
Oh man. So when we made the decision, okay, we'll listen to the franchise coach, we were pitched 3 different opportunities, 2 of which were focused around bettering the lives of people. And that overnight became like a guiding light. It's like, hey, the only thing we will consider is something specifically designed and geared towards helping people.
Okay, great. Were you close on any other brand, or GYMGUYZ was the obvious winner?
So the funny part about it is in between the two that we very quickly narrowed it down to, GYMGUYZ and the other one was the runner-up up until kind of we'll call it the 10th hour, not the 11th. So it was so funny. The franchise coach, because I was all in on the other one, and he said, okay, that's fine. So here's what I want. Here's my suggestion. I think you should stick with both so you can hold them in contrast to one another. And at that 10th hour, I'm like, this shift happened. And GYMGUYZ like rocketed to the top, and the other brand like rocketed to the bottom. And overnight, we were GYMGUYZ.
What was that one thing? Was it meeting Josh York, the founder of GYMGUYZ? I mean, it had to be something big.
I wasn't in the discovery part of it, but Allen...
Boy, you trusted him.
I did. I did very much. I honestly didn't start until we actually signed the contract and was going to GGU. And then I came home from GGU and I was like...
GGU, is that Hamburger University?
Yeah.
GYMGUYZ University, GGU. After that and going to Long Island, and we came home and I was like, I'm in it. Like, let's do it. Like, I want to be just as a part of this as he was. But going back to the aha moment was talking to leadership and talking to other franchise owners, the culture, the support, the way that they cared and questioned and were supportive about making this big decision, that kind of sealed the deal.
And it was also the fact, the final nail in the coffin, my final discovery call with this other brand, it was scheduled for an hour. It went for an hour and 30 minutes. And for an hour and a half of my life, I listened to a member of leadership of the other brand talk about themselves. And I said, this is precisely what I'm trying to get away from.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I love, Lauren, that you brought up the validation, because that is the reason that I do the Franchise Envy show, because validation is the most important. So when people get to hear your story and your validation on GYMGUYZ, that's just extra, or call it icing on the cake for them. So I appreciate you guys sharing all that. It does have to be about you, and franchising is a two-way street. You know, they want to find somebody great, and you want to find a great business, right?
Yeah.
Like a great spouse.
There you go.
So what was your all-in investment with GYMGUYZ, and did you purchase one territory or more? Tell me about that.
So our story is a little different than some. We purchased 2.5 territories, and that was a strategy move. So when we decided to sign on, we were given a name, and we said, all right, that's great, but we really need this other city's name in our name to convey this is GYMGUYZ and this is primarily where we operate. And so
you can share the city name if you'd like.
Oh yeah, of course. So we needed Columbia. We needed to be GYMGUYZ Annapolis and Columbia. And the wonderful folks at Corp were like, yeah, you can have that. You just need to buy more zip codes. And we're like,
got it.
We're like, okay. So we were at GYMGUYZ University, and we made the decision. They put it in front of us, and it was $16,000 additional dollars. And I'm like, that's 16 grand out of our contingency that we're choosing to spend. We haven't made any money. We're not going to make any money. And here we are spending a large portion of our contingency. It's like, what are we doing? But it just...
You gotta spend money to make money.
You do. And we embody that. So we talked very briefly, and we're like, do it. It is what it is. Do it. Put it on the Amex. Pay the fee. Get them points, and let's keep rolling.
I love it. So 2.5 territories.
2.5.
I'm pausing again because the next question is why this particular franchise, but we already discussed that.
Do you want to know? Do you want to stick on money too?
No, not yet. You're talking about revenue or
How much we spent?
Like
How much we
investment.
spent?
oh, sorry, yeah. So how much was the all-in investment for 2.5 territories?
For 2.5, it put us right at, we'll round it out at 220 grand.
Got it. And that's franchise fees. And as far as your vehicle, did you start with one or did you get two out of the gate?
We started with one, and that number includes $5,000 down payment, but it doesn't include the monthly note on it.
Gotcha. I'm sure the working capital might even be built into that. All of these numbers tend to have some working capital built into it.
Yeah.
Your contingency, I guess, is what you said earlier. That's gone.
Yeah. So it is not. It's not totally depleted. She's cooking along, and there's not much left. But it's like, okay, it's there as a tiny safety net in the event we need it.
Okay. So did you do this all cash, or was there a loan involved in this?
There's a loan involved, but we're incredibly fortunate. We had the equity in our home, and we were able to keep the loan private.
Okay, good. Fabulous. Was size a factor when you were considering GYMGUYZ? There are people that come to me as a broker that want a big brand. I've heard people say, I want a big brand like Great Clips Hair Salons or McDonald's. And obviously, most of those bigger brands, your territory is probably taken. So did you consider how big the brand was in your decision?
Oh man, no. It didn't. That didn't even cross my mind until you just asked the question.
There you go.
It had nothing to do with brand recognition. We loved GYMGUYZ mission.
Well, it was size, so size did not matter.
In this case, size did not matter.
Got it.
But I will say it just seemed like a good fit. So if you think about it, size does matter because it's the perfect fit for what we were looking for.
It is about the perfect fit, and you determined that this worked.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
That is the beautiful part about this process. There's a lot of integrity where you get to go in with your eyes open and talk to franchisees, as you mentioned earlier, to determine, is this for me? When people buy an existing business, maybe that's not even a franchise, who do you talk to but the owner? Scary, right?
Yeah. Just a little.
Don't know if it's going to work. What was the hardest part of launching this GYMGUYZ franchise? If you think back, it's not that long ago. What was the hardest part where you're like, darn, this is tough?
Oh man, there were so many parts, but I'm just gonna be totally honest with you, Lance. Like every obstacle that Lauren and I faced, we just carried through it. Whenever we met, like, oh crap, this might delay, this might cancel, the doors opened. It's like we were supposed to do this, and so we chose. The doors are opening. We're walking the hell through them, and So, but were there challenges? Of course. Oh damn, yeah. Of course there are challenges every day.
What was the biggest one?
What's your take on this?
Finding clients and trainers, and it's this chicken and egg dance that you play, and we're still playing, and we're going to always be playing.
Yep.
Because we are mobile. Like that is a con, is people aren't going to be employed at one location, and the clients come to one location. We're servicing people throughout our territory, and we have trainers that also need to go to those locations. So I think that has been the biggest challenge, at least starting, although we've got a good footing, but we're looking for a trainer in Annapolis if anyone's
throwing
looking
that
for
out
a
there.
job.
Throwing that out there. Edgewater, Annapolis.
So just that chicken and egg of just making sure it's, again, the right fit, the right person, the right location, because we take a lot of that into consideration.
Yeah, a lot of people talk or ask about how do you scale a business, and there's not really a secret. It's about having great people and you being great leaders. And the hard part for people that haven't managed a ton of people in a specific industry, like you haven't been in this industry, like most franchise owners, there's a little adjustment period. And once you build the appropriate culture for your business, you hire and retain the best people. They're not going to go anywhere. And then it's just about finding clients, and you grow, grow, grow. But there is that. I talked to a friend in home care and senior home care last week that I put into business years ago. And while he's doing fantastic, sometimes he unexpectedly loses a couple of big clients, and then he loses a good employee. So we know it's life, right?
Yep, we've already experienced that in 4 months.
Exactly.
Well, have we lost a good employee? No, because
that's good. Lose bad employees. That's good.
So, certainly not going to call either of them bad. Neither of them were bad, but they were both so young in their tenure that it didn't carry a blow.
Yeah.
But the day's going to come. It's going to happen. Shit happens in business, man. It happens all day, every day.
They weren't the right fit, and we learned early on, and that was a blessing in disguise.
And we will be okay. When the day comes, we'll be okay.
Yeah. Got it. So what's the best thing that's resulted from you being franchisees of GYMGUYZ these days?
Lance. Man, I like humanity now. It's like
What made your mindset change on humanity from being a franchisee now?
Oh man, all jokes aside, this has been the most powerful thing that I've ever experienced in my life. Ask her. I didn't know that I had the capacity to love people the way that I love our clients. I have had the privilege of sitting in people's dining rooms, complete strangers. I mean, I'm sitting in your dining room, we're going through your park queue, we're doing your fitness assessment. They're awesome. Everybody, they're forthcoming, they're welcoming, their mission is to make themselves better. And the way that was the gift in that for me was profound. It truly was profound.
Well, you said ask Lauren. So Lauren, is he telling the truth? What's going on here?
He is. I mean, he is the one out there doing the assessments and meeting our clients face to face.
Not solo anymore. We have two great, amazing trainers who are starting to come into their own.
Yeah, but just listening to them when they call and they're just like, I just met this amazing person, and they tell us their life story, and there's always a personal connection somehow, some way, and it's just the whole point of us doing this is to be in the community and help the community, and getting to know people it's just been so powerful and cool, and there are good, cool people out there. So it's nice finding them, and they want to support us and we support them. And it's just a beautiful thing.
Oh man, it's the best.
I love it. Listening to you guys just describe what's going on in your business, you think of all this AI talk. AI is not taking the place of anything that you guys are doing anytime soon.
Not today.
Not today.
Something with a heartbeat.
Today. Yes, we love the personal touches. Like people, yes, we wear the GYMGUYZ brand. We are GYMGUYZ, but we are also Allen and Lauren Brewington, and all of our trainers, and we're people too. Like we just want to be people helping people.
Yeah, love it. Your secrets to success. Please share at least one. Why are we having this conversation today? And why does GYMGUYZ think you're going to rock it to the top here?
I think we both can give one. And mine is unwaveringly always going to be follow the damn system that you paid for. I cannot stress it anymore. You paid for it. You literally paid. You paid hundreds of thousands for it. Do as you're told. What's yours?
And you know what? Before Lauren answers, any franchisor that's listening right now is applauding you, because they shake their heads constantly and say, I don't understand why some people do not follow the system and want to reinvent the wheel. It's crazy.
It's Lance. It is. I don't understand it either, man. I'm a franchisee and I don't understand it. We Lauren and I were gifted from our amazing franchise development coach who was with us every step of the way into GYMGUYZ, Ryan Kalinowski. We were gifted an invaluable book, and that book told you, and it told us, and it taught us, you paid for it. You literally paid for it, and here, and why would you try anything different?
Yeah, Lauren, and what say you on that?
The secret to our success was the question, right?
Yes.
Like anything Alan and I do, we always, it's funny, it's like a running joke in our family that we call it like in Lauren and Alan fashion. Yeah. It's just who we are and how we do. So that calls just back to our mindset. We communicate and talk about things. We dream things and make them happen.
Manifestation.
The manifestation piece is huge. The communication piece is huge. Knowing who we are and what we can do with all of that is huge, because then nothing can stop us.
Yeah. Good stuff. Why are other people that you've seen not as successful as you? We know one answer to that is they're not following the system. What is another answer?
I think truly and wholeheartedly that you could just maybe dive a little deeper into my statement, because it's kind of a blanket statement, follow the system. Okay, well, there's hundreds of components to the system. And one of the most powerful things that have happened for us that we know for a fact a lot of franchisees, at least GYMGUYZ franchisees, question is the power of the chambers of commerce. These people have been instrumental in our growth. They're not going to do anything for you, but they're going to provide you with some tools to shake some hands of some people that matter, and it drives results like you can't believe.
Yeah. I would also assume being part of a big network of GYMGUYZ all over the country, I think that gives you guys instant credibility. It's great that you're a happy, local, amazing couple, but at the end of the day, when people start Googling, they go, whoa, this is a big company, right? So it's probably a big deal.
That is huge, Lance. That's huge. I hang my hat on when I am having discovery calls with potential clients. One of my short elevator pitches is, we are new, GYMGUYZ is not. It was founded in 2008. They began franchising in 2014. We know what we're doing.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Anything to add on that, Lauren?
The only thing I think I would add, one thing I would say too, that I think maybe other franchisees may get hung up on too, and sometimes Alan gets hung up on this. I'm not going to say that he doesn't.
What are you going to say?
But I was told by an old manager that that people come and they're just like, I had a really bad day. And then they drag it with them the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Well, if you break it down, did you actually have a bad day? And if you did, that's fine. But did you have a bad moment? Did you have a bad hour?
Yeah.
Did you have just a bad morning? Okay, that's great. Life happens. It stinks sometimes. We're all going to have bad times. But don't let it affect the rest of your day, your week, your month, your year. Acknowledge it and move past it. And I think a lot of people get hung up on, I didn't close that sale, or I didn't make my money this month, or whatever it was, and then 2 days later he's on the highest of highs because we had our trainers are doing amazing with booking and closing assessments. So it's give that time grace, but move past it so then you can focus on having better days.
Such great advice, because I love what you said about, was it a bad moment or was it truly a bad day? And it really goes back to mindset. It's okay to have that sort of perfectionist mindset that you want everything to go right all the time. But the reality is business owners have to be able to adapt.
Oh yeah.
and lead and delegate. And, when you're building that company culture and you have employees, boy,
Exactly.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
and it
That
happens.
Yeah.
So, how much? Let's talk about money. I call it the show me the money segment. How much money can a franchisee of Gym Guys make? I know you guys are new, but you're certainly off out of the gate strong. But how much can a great franchise do? Let's say an annual sales or sales per truck. How do you want to break it down?
I'm gonna stick with the territory that we bought.
The two and
We
a half?
2.5. We're going to expand, but we're not going to expand until it makes sense. And as it sits right now, we're sitting on $1 million territory,
Okay.
without doubt in my mind.
Okay.
This franchise will produce $1 million plus year over year.
Okay. Wonderful. What kind of income can you make on that? A lot of people, you could throw your money in Wall Street, and year over year since the 50s, you'll get your 10.5% in the S&P 500. So I would imagine you'll make more than that. I mean, is this something you can make 20%, 15%? What are you thinking?
Oh, Lance, I'm going higher. We the beautiful part
Sold.
about huh? You
Sold.
said
Sold.
sold. Yeah, no plans for that. No plans for that. We're in it for the long haul for sure.
Good.
You know, I'm gonna go. Some people might listen to this and say, "Oh, no. I challenge you. I say 30%.
Yeah.
I say you can get 30%."
Yeah. Oh, it's great. And look, it wasn't a big investment. If you get 30%, it's a pretty incredible return on investment. I'm sure you've met franchise owners doing 2 million plus, depending on where they are. And what is the biggest franchise? What are they doing? The biggest franchisees these days? I know there's some good numbers out there.
There are some great numbers. In fact, we were just on a Gym Guys wide call 2 days ago, and we've got 4 franchise locations that are performing 1 million plus.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
And describe to people a little bit, very quickly, on you're talking a van, a trainer. It might be a corporate training in a park. You might be going to somebody's house, and that's what it is. That's what this business is. There's no brick and mortar.
You've got it. Yeah. No brick and mortar whatsoever. The only bricks and mortars we have is an aluminum or a steel body on 4 wheels. That's
Yeah,
the only
I love it.
that's the only location that we have, and it's just like you said, we are traveling. At the end of the day, we remove every barrier to exercise. That is
Yeah.
what Gym Guys is.
Yeah, the best part about this, to sort of recap, is the fact that you kept your day job, and there's not a lot of businesses. There are plenty of businesses, but not really that many great quality businesses with great systems where you can truly keep your day job and build something like this on the side. So that's also pretty incredible.
I completely agree with you. It was important to us. Lauren and I are willing to take risks, but we're both very type A. So the risks have to be calculated 18 times over before we're willing to jump into the pool, so to speak. And I
Yeah.
don't know that we would have done anything that required us to leave the safety net of full-time employment.
Great. So, is there anything that you would have done differently knowing what you know now? Sounds like you're on track.
I know for me, we just talked about this. Have there been bumps in the road? Oh, hell yeah. Have there been unforeseen challenges? Absolutely. Knowing now, if I knew then what I knew now, I'd do it all over again. I would walk through it all over again.
And how long ago did you sign and start?
Oh man, we were aggressive. We were aggressive. There were a couple times, and this is where I come back to the doors were just opening, because typically Lauren and I would never approach this kind of life change as quickly as we did. In between inking the paper and opening our doors was less than 60 days. And There were so many moments. I'm like, what if the loan doesn't come through? Lance, that loan came through like with 14 days to spare, and you of all people know in business that is by the skin of your teeth.
Yeah.
But
Close.
corporate was amazing about it.
Yeah.
They worked with us because they believed in us, and
Yeah.
we did it. And guess what? It wasn't all smooth sailing. We took a bridge loan on Lauren's IRA because we had no other choice. And so I remember talking to our financial advisor. I'm like, what if it doesn't happen? What are we going to do? Like, we can't take on that payment. We can't pay it back. Then Uncle Sam's going to come asking oh, man.
You know, entrepreneurship is jumping out of a plane, holding onto your parachute, and then deciding I'm going to put it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great way to put it, man. Yeah.
There you go. What fun is it to put the parachute on and then jump out of the plane?
That sucks.
Make it a little more
that
exciting.
Sucks. Yeah, no.
So what advice would you give to people considering entrepreneurship? They're not sure if they want a franchise, but they decided they want a business. Give a piece of advice to people looking. Because we all know that, well, you and I know, us three, franchises are the best first-time business, first business for people. And, because there's a roadmap.
Yeah.
There's guardrails in place.
Yep.
There's answers for everything. We didn't talk about it too much, but I would imagine, before you answer the last question, I would imagine every step of the way, as you've hit any roadblock or any difficulties, there's somebody at GYMGUYZ that's answering the questions for you or with you.
Man, the support available from all those folks up on Long Island, they're in it. These folks are in it. There is not a single person that you don't reach out to up there that will not jump in within a couple of hours of your email and help you.
Yeah, awesome. Lauren, you feel the same?
I do. Yeah, they're just absolutely incredible. The consistent calls that we have, if we ever pick up the phone and call someone, they call right back where they pick up. Josh checks in regularly. He actually just called Allen this morning because Allen wrote.
I hope you didn't say we were talking today.
I think.
Hey, don't spoil the surprise. Don't spoil the surprise.
Kidding. Shout out to Josh York. Josh is one of the few people in franchising that might have more energy than me. I don't know if that's actually. I mean, it is possible. Josh is great. So back to your advice. One piece of advice for anybody looking at business ownership today.
I'm just going to go with the very first thing that popped into my mind, and it actually sounds a little daunting. I'm not meaning to off-put anybody, but be prepared. Just be prepared to work your ass off. But here's the saving grace. I've never worked this hard in my life. I work 100 hours a week in between my full-time job and GYMGUYZ. GYMGUYZ doesn't feel like work. It never has, and I can't explain it. It's ours. It belongs to us, and we will be damned if we're going to see it fail.
Yeah, love it. That's fabulous. Lauren, your thoughts?
I feel like you took that one.
Well, I'll help you because you kind of said it, in my opinion. That there's no such thing as great timing. If you see something, go for it, because life's short.
Oh,
and that's what you guys did.
Yeah, I will say too, you also have to listen to your gut. We do a lot of things. I mean, we are prepared. We do the research. We're not just a fly at the seat of our pants type people, but we definitely rely on our gut and what that passion fuels and everything. I mean, even when we meet with our trainers, you get that good feeling if they're going to be a good fit because it's just that instant gut reaction. So we do a lot of things based off of our gut, and you say that all the time. You're just like, something in the universe told me to pick up the phone and call this person, and it was like the perfect timing for it, and you just got to listen to yourself.
Man, I'm telling you, I know we haven't touched on it specifically, and maybe we will. I don't know, Lance, but
go for it.
Lauren and I may have bought it and we may run it, and we may run it very successfully, and we do it diligently. But our people, man, the glory goes to them. These people are the ones that forge the relationships with their clients. They're the reason that we're 4 months deep and we have 7, 8, or 9 5-star Google reviews under our belt. It's not Lauren and I. That's not the reason the 5-star reviews are there. It's them.
Yeah.
And
that is your most proud moment that you could ever have in business ownership. And it's only going to continue, but it's not about you guys anymore. It's about your team. You nailed it. That's exactly the difference between, chucking a truck, staying in a van, to building an empire. So I love that you recognize that already.
I appreciate you saying building an empire, because I have said that lovingly. I have said that with fury in my face. I have said, it's like, I'm building an empire. It's just like,
you need a shirt. Out of my way, I'm building an empire.
I absolutely love it. And please have that made for me. Have somebody make that for me.
All right, Father's Day is coming up. I'll work on it.
Don't help me. I'm in a hurry.
Lauren and Allen, thank you so much for joining me on Franchise Envy, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Lance, thank you, man.
Yes.
It's been wonderful.
Thank you.
My pleasure.